Good stuff. You have to admire the entertainment industry for the masterpieces they manage to put out on a yearly basis. There's great media on cinema, in television, and even the internet. But where there is sunshine, there is also an occasional rainfall. And it's the bright, intelligent critics like Siskel and Ebert, Nostalgia Critic, Cinema Snob, and many others who keep us out of the rain. Sometimes. Then there's the awful, ferociously gargantuan, ugly, vile, putrid, otherworldly cretins known as Slobbering Lard Butt. Otherwise known as my scientific name, the Internet Critic. Seriously, ever since the Internet dawned, everyone's a critic. Now this doesn't include all Internet critics, namely the more evolved ones of the species. I'm only referring to the majority of this gross, weeb-like population. Sorry for the tongue twist. The gross man-children who resort to these amateurish softwares to make a video, MS Paint, Windows Movie Maker, and or Sony Vegas Pro. Hey buddy, I had no idea you had such an extensive budget. Okay, I'm hitting below the belt. I know not everyone can afford good software. In fact, I wouldn't mind if the actual reviews were half decent. I would not care. If they were well-constructed, well-spoken, decent, relevant opinions. Is it any of that? Tis only random nitpicking and autistic rambling. Uh-oh, I don't think that was politically correct. Listening to these snobby Nazis, or snotches as I call them. Pretty clever, huh? Listening to their incoherent screaming is like letting a mile-long earwig have at your ear. Doesn't stop at YouTube. No way, Jose! Don't you dare be so naive! These Nazis are spread all over the web in units, you silly sausage. Go on Facebook or Twitter right now, and you will see people who feel the absolute need to do a long, boring review. It's more annoying on Twitter. I say if you can't get your point across in 140 characters, or 280 for some, Twitter hates me, it ain't worth tweeting. If you want to do a review, go to YouTube. Wait, don't do that, Stay away from YouTube, stay away! These critics are usually the butt-inskies that claim to hate the Ren and Stimpy adult spinoff. They usually do this because they want to make their own butts look good. They want to impress their Lord and Master, Mr. Inter. Speaking of his almighty interness, I honestly don't have anything personal against him. Despite being a nostalgia critic, one of you used to edge my ear like a cheese grater. He seems like an okay guy. It's his worshippers, the Interbots, as they've come to be popularly known, whom grind my nerves like a chalkboard. They follow in his footsteps and make their own animated atrocity knockoffs, or sometimes directly plagiarizing the name. One guy did a review of a cartoon, but he didn't show the footage because he didn't want to get in trouble with his mommy.
But there's been only one time where I've seen something that has been so bad it's made me physically sick. It's the one thing that's actually made me lose respect for an animator altogether. It's something so foul. I'll mention the name, but I'm not going to show any clips of it, even though I'll describe certain parts of it.
These bots even make these charts rating the episode, and if you happen to desecrate the word of their god, they'll get all up in your business. Yeah! They'll kick Fanny and take names. Please, Mr. Ender, call off your hounds before I call the dog catcher, or better yet, the state insane asylum. One thing I noticed is that they make whatever they review sound worse than it actually is. Not just the Interbots, but Mr. Inter and Phantom Strider themselves. You know, they also usually rant about old stuff that was made years ago. Crap no one's even talking about anywhere. Mess no one even cares about anymore. Hey, you think you can review something more relevant and current? Leave the old stuff to Channel Awesome. That's kind of their shtick, you know. Also, why doesn't their positive reviews get more views? Those got some effort, fam. And even if the reviewed source is sometimes bland and sappy. This is why video game critics are better. They tend to be more civil and non-painful. Well, with a few exceptions. Looking at you, Leafy, looking at you! I'd like to hear Boogie2988's Francis do reviews of shows and movies. I'd seriously pay to see that. I would actually pay for YouTube Red just to see that. You know, I'm cynical, opinionated. I could do internet reviews, but I won't, because you know why? Because opinions, like buttholes, everyone's got them. But I'm smart enough to know that mine stink. Told you, man. It's the only stuff that keeps me going.
Shut up.